Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Smackdown Live. We are getting closer and closer to King of the Ring, and we could be getting closer and closer to calling the leader of the Elite, the cleaner Kenny Omega, a two-time King of the Ring winner. That's all he's got to do this Sunday, albeit in a stacked field of talents going up against him. Tonight, however, he has more pressing matters to attend to in the moment, shall we say, as tonight Kenny Omega looks to become a two-time Intercontinental Champion. He begged for it, he pleaded for it last week, and tonight he gets his wish. In this main event, Kenny Omega and Finn Bálor will collide in a rematch from the Royal Rumble for the Intercontinental Championship. The roles are reversed. Omega the challenger, Bálor the champion. Will the result be the same, or will Omega be the one walking out with the belt, heading into King of the Ring? This is Kenny Omega's make or break week for him, and he's got to try and prove that here tonight. And if he kicks it off with an Intercontinental Championship victory, you'd be hard-pressed to find a better favorite heading into King of the Ring, but that is not all that we are here for tonight. For the first time since the Royal Rumble, the four-time World Champion CM Punk will speak about the Royal Rumble, about losing his WWE Championship to Bobby Fish, and about whatever else he needs to get off his chest. CM Punk is here, and he's going to have a few words to say, and I hope we all are going to be listening closely. Before we get to that, however, we're going to kick things off with a bit of an interesting matchup. It is going to be a showcase of some of SmackDown's more underappreciated talents, as we kick things off with Jay Lethal and Cesaro. This is a good opportunity for these two men. Like I said, you know, kind of overlooked and overshadowed by other events that take place on SmackDown Live, and it's a great chance for them to prove that that really shouldn't be happening to them, and they deserve to be given a great deal of focus heading forwards. And of course, one of them is going to get that here with a victory here tonight, and let's be honest, both these men are going to get the best out of one another to try and get said victory. Jay Lethal comes towards the ring here, and just like Cesaro has been cast by the wayside, a guy who really could be in contention for a world title, but for whatever reason he's just unable to, be it momentum, be it constantly, I don't know, it just feels like when Lethal is on, he is on. You know, when he's on, you find it hard-pressed to get someone who can get to his level and put on a match as great as him, but when he's off, he's very easy to overcome. It's almost like he cannot find a constant bearing of momentum, and the same goes for this guy, Cesaro, one of the longest reigning ECW champions in this universe, and yet he's still, and he's gone from ECW, rather should I say, to now still struggling to find an impact on SmackDown, albeit almost a year after joining this brand in the draft. Cesaro has had opportunities at the Intercontinental Championship, but again, another guy who, when he's on, he could well be classed as the best pure wrestler in SmackDown Live. But he's not always on, and when he isn't on, it's once again a case of him being rather easy to overcome. And that is something that these two men need to try and overcome here tonight. That is something that these two men need to do. One of these men, well, both these men really need to be on to keep the interest of the SmackDown committee there to their names, and keep the interest of them around so that they can be in matches, you know, going on from this one. And that is, of course, what both of these men want. They want a better match. They want more matches for themselves in the future. They want to keep getting booked on this show. Otherwise, they could be used as a trade for, you know, someone who may not be worth their value. And that just could be due to how much their stock has fallen down. Cesaro there with a bit of disrespect with that cheap shot, showing there is no love lost in this matchup now, as the Colombo tie-up there got us underway. Lethal responds with a knee in the back there. Hurricanrana now, and Cesaro goes down from it. Smart planning here by Lethal from the get-go now, and he's the one with a bit of control, going after that shoulder as well that Cesaro has taped up. Been a long injury for Cesaro. Not too sure why he still requires tape for it. You could have just fucking taken surgery, mate. It's not like you're getting booked. Elbow into the chest there, though, and Lethal is the one in control in the early stages, though Cesaro makes him pay with a rolling European uppercut. Let's see what else here. Lethal once again has the control, and Russian leg sweep there, bringing Cesaro down. Look at this again. He's working on the head and the neck rather well right now, is Jay Lethal, honing in on those key areas for that lethal injection. Oh, splashed him there right down on the back, and I think on the back of the neck as well. Caught him at an awkward angle, but it was one that actually paid dividends for him. Looking for something now. Is going to be stuffed there by a hard knee in the face, courtesy of the Swiss Superman. Like I said, Cesaro, one of the longest reigning ECW champions of all time in this universe. The leader of the New World Order for some time. Oh, look at this, though, by Jay Lethal there. Double tilt-a-whirl hurricanrana, and Cesaro has to roll on the outside. Hanging on the apron here, and Lethal almost telling him, get back in the ring. This one ain't settled yet. Quick strike, and it seems as if Jay Lethal wants to go to the outside for this one now. Over the top rope and down he does. And let's see what more will be explored between these two guys. Tilt-a-whirl arm drag now. Lethal using his speed advantage here to full effect. Cesaro's really been struggling, really on the back foot in this one. Oh, God. Into the steps there went Cesaro. And Cesaro makes Lethal pay and gives him one in return. And Cesaro gets something going for him now. Which is something that he desperately needs to do, and it seems as if he is going to try so. Sending Lethal back in the ring here. This match needs to be a bit more back and forth than what it is right now for Cesaro to stand a chance of being in contention for more titles as time goes on. Look at that, though. Double underhook, stalling it as well. Blood rushing to the head and down with Jay Lethal. Bit of just beautiful maneuverability there. And strength as well by Cesaro to pull off something like that. And now we'll go to the second rope right after it. Might look for a spinning European uppercut here. Brace yourself, Lethal. Oh, he gets it. Cesaro was holding his hand there. I think he may have had an awkward landing. But he's not letting it get the best of him right now. Lethal, though, great speed to roll away quickly. Couldn't get out of the clutches of Cesaro that easily, though, however. In the ropes now. Up and over and back to the outside we go. And now on the... Oh, no, I was about to say now on the outside this one continues, but apparently not. Cesaro getting them back in the ring ASAP. Back suplex there. What more is Cesaro going to try for here in this one now? Into the turnbuckle, he's sending Jay Lethal here, and oh God, the uppercut train is ready to leave the station, and Jay Lethal is the only participant of it. It's going to be a rough ride for you. There's one in the corner. You can have another one for your treats as well. Caught him in the jaw with that one, and Cesaro with a drop kick to finish it off. God, all of those into the jaw, that is going to do some damage to you, but so is this, the pop-up uppercut into the chest. Used to be a devastating move of Cesaro, put so many on the shelf with it. Has still kept it in his arsenal, but has gone from the jaw to the chest now. Jay Lethal, though, still able to fight back. Your leg DDT there, cover on Cesaro after it, hoping it's enough. I think that might be one of the, if not the first cover of this matchup. Cesaro shrugs that one off. And uh-oh, Lethal, German suplex for your troubles. And Cesaro will look to end this one now. Incoming. Sharpshooter it's going to be from Cesaro. Thought it would have been the neutralizer, but no. Sharpshooter. Lethal close to the ropes, but he can't reach them. His arms extended out as far as he can, but he can't make the ropes. Cesaro, and he forces Lethal to tap out. Lethal submits. A comeback from behind for Cesaro, but a victory for him nonetheless. Both men were on in their own rights in this one. Cesaro just able to use a little bit more to get that win that he wanted. And a good win for Cesaro it was. Too long he had been overlooked around here now, and it is time to put some focus on him. Oh, what? Cesaro, what? Putting the boots to Lethal now. There was some bad blood between the two in this matchup, but Cesaro just proved that there was a little bit more as well, striking Lethal after the matchup. No need for that by Cesaro. He picked up the win. He got him to submit. And he's trying to add even more embarrassment to the situation. Cesaro, your winner. But it could be a return to very, very old ways for the Swiss Superman. One that Jay Lethal certainly wasn't a fan of. That was uncalled for. Might not be the end between these two men. You never know. But we're going to move on now to our next match after that one. Both these men challenged for spots last week. Hanson tried to get into the King of the Ring and was beat by Kota Ibushi. Roman Reigns tried to become the Intercontinental Champion and failed. Now these two men, though, go one-on-one tonight. It is going to be a big, brutish matchup. You do not want to miss it. These two men in their own rights almost very similar. Both incredibly powerful, both incredibly strong. And both have that kind of untapped potential within them that you just want to see come out. Hanson's certainly been making waves in the in SmackDown Live since War Machine joined it. I mean, they've only been here since October, maybe November, and they're already the WWE Tag Team Champions after beating the Young Bucks a few weeks ago and retaining the belts 2 weeks ago against Future Shock. It was a very eventful few tag team title matches, especially the one between Future Shock and War Machine. That one was so close. It really could have gone either way, but War Machine are your tag team champions, and now they look to take on Roman Reigns. I would have said this could have mattered towards the tag team division beforehand, but now I'm not so sure since Mark Henry and Roman Reigns were a team. That's kind of just looked like it's fizzled away. Like as I've said, over these last few weeks, we haven't seen Mark Henry in a long time. It's almost as if Paul Heyman has just cast him aside and put his focus on Reigns and Fish. But even then, the focus towards Reigns is getting very 50-50 from Paul Heyman. You got to think the frustration that's been building throughout him for the longest time. He couldn't win the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. He couldn't win it last week. He didn't even get elimination in the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns is another 50-50 kind of guy. I was talking about Lethal and Cesaro earlier on. When he's on, he is one of the hardest men to stop. But it's staying on that constant flow of momentum that just makes him so 50-50 in his own right. He cannot stay on that momentum. He cannot keep himself going, driving. And even with Paul Heyman in his corner, who we've seen can be a master tactician. I mean, he led Bobby Fish to almost 400 days as WWE Champion. Why can't it work with Roman Reigns? Why is it that in this whole time they've been Paul Heyman's been in the Dangerous Alliance and Roman Reigns has been by his side in the over a year now? Why is the only belt Roman Reigns has captured the WWE Tag Team titles for a short period of time at that? Just makes it feel like it just feels as if something's up. Maybe it's all the focus that Heyman puts towards Fish, I don't know. But it just feels as if something is not clicking between Reigns and Heyman like it used to. Maybe it's down to the Mark Henry situation I was going on about. So with that being said, as we're only on the outside looking in, we can only guess these things that are going on. But what we can see right now before our very eyes is how they work at ringside with one another. Hanson and Roman Reigns getting things underway here with a big collar and elbow tie-up situation going on there. Hanson sends Reigns to the ropes. Back he comes. Oh, back elbow to walk into. Nicely done there by Hanson. Let's see what these two men can bring to the table against one another. Expect it to be some hard-hitting moves, that's for certain. Uh-oh, Reigns in a precarious position, hung up with snake eyes. And Hanson will once again go to the well with that headbutt there. But only for so long can you go to the well and get it to continue working on. Roman Reigns able to turn things around here. And hard elbows. Now meet the skull of Hanson. Into the cover, here goes Roman Reigns. Can he get the win this early against one half of the tag team champions? Not to be the case. Hanson rolls out of the way and hits that big drop kick there. You wouldn't expect to see it by this guy, but when you've seen him once, you know what he's capable of. Powerbomb elbow combination there. Just incredible strength being possessed by Hanson. Week to week basis, we see this now. He's only getting better. He's only being able to use his strength more to his advantage. As the ref goes down there. Hasn't stopped. Roman Reigns going on the offensive. Put him up there. Bring him up to his feet. Backbreaker again. He's really honing in on the back right now of Hanson. Perhaps looking to try and take away a vertical standing base to him. He's up on his shoulders here. This is going to hurt. Into the turnbuckle. Returning a snake eyes with one of his own. Roman Reigns has really turned the match around now to how he wanted it to go. And he nails the Superman punch there. Reigns now in position right next to Hanson for the spear. He gets it. Spear by Reigns. This one could end it with 1, 2, and Hanson kicked out. Reigns was just too close to Hanson. He didn't have enough time to build up any momentum for that move. He just kind of leapt into him. It was more of a tackle than what it was a spear. And as we've seen from Hanson lately, you may need more than one move to get the win, but that could end up being what works here for Roman Reigns. Sunset flip on Hanson. Can he steal one? There's 2, and Hanson got the shoulders up. That could have been worrying for himself and War Machine there. Because the last thing you want when you're someone like Hanson is to suffer more losses and start regressing. Hanson is making him pay for it now. Hard strike there, and look at the strength. Reigns in trouble. Oh my god. Reigns dumped to the outside. Belly to belly by the outside there. To the outside by Hanson. Jesus Christ. That is going to do a number on you. Reigns is in trouble out there. And Hanson has come to continue what he started with that belly to belly. Into that table he goes now. But it's countered there by Roman Reigns. Gut wrench suplex now on the outside. Great resilience from Reigns to withstand that move and be able to fight on here. These two men colliding with another back and forth. On the outside they go. Reigns will send them back in the ring, however, despite being the one hoofed out over the top rope and on his back. Reigns with a Superman punch. He looks serious about ending this one now, maybe. Not even a maybe. He does look serious about ending this one now. Reigns, schoolboy, rolls through. Deadlift powerbomb. Cover on Hanson to end this one. There's 2. And Hanson still kicks out at 2. Roman Reigns. He's feeling it now. Heyman's just been watching on patiently. But Roman Reigns is in position. He's in the corner. He's ready to strike. Hanson tried, but Reigns has been something else tonight. Spear by Reigns. And look at the impact here. Hanson's neck smashing into the ropes. You go down with that much force and the ropes get in your way, you are going to be in agony. Reigns pulls him away there, and the cover it will be. Rowe trying to help him kick out, but if not, it's not going to be. Roman Reigns is your winner in this one. He was on a different level tonight to Hanson, and he made sure everyone was aware of it. Maybe I spoke too soon. Well, no, actually I've had over a year to talk about it. Maybe it has finally happened, rather. Maybe Reigns and Heyman have finally got on the same page as one another. And maybe it is the case that Roman Reigns is getting somewhere with Paul Heyman. Maybe we could see the turning over of a new leaf for Roman Reigns heading forward. Will this partnership work out the way they want it to? Time will only tell, but I'm certainly excited to see if that time is a successful one. Roman Reigns has shown on many occasions that he can be a star, that he can be an incredible athlete. He's just got to get there. Well, time will only tell. But we're going to move on now to our next matchup, the first of the 2 men participating in King of the Ring, or representing Smackdown in King of the Ring. Are going to be in action here tonight is a tag team matchup. The Revival go up against Future Shock, containing, of course, Kota Ibushi. That's up next. Been a good night of action so far on SmackDown Live. Nothing to worry about. No people trying to interfere in matches. I mean, the only questionable moment, I guess you could say, we've had is Cesaro and his attack on Jay Lethal. Really not too certain why that happened, but yeah, I mean, if you're going to get a name for yourself, if you want to get people talking about you and not be lost in limbo again, I guess that is the way to go about it. But anyway, we're going to move on here. Tag team action. The Revival against Future Shock, former WWE Tag Team Champions are the Revival. And they're looking to recover and reach that point once again in their careers. They want to be back up at the top. They want to be the top guys that they know they can be. We talk about tag team divisions. We brought it up on Raw regarding Raw's tag team division. Well, SmackDown's almost the polar opposite. I would go to the extent of saying that I believe, even as the ECW general manager, I believe that SmackDown's is the best. You look at the teams: War Machine, Future Shock, the Revival. You know, even teams that have been overlooked like the Ascension, they're still incredible teams. The Young Bucks. You look at those names and they are just such incredible talents that, and even you know, and of course not to talk down about them, but the MK Ultra team as well. What the hell is going on here from the Revival? That was a bit weird to watch there. It seems as if they wanted nothing to do with the entrance of Future Shock. They just got the business. Dawson got on the apron and Wilder got on the apron there, and Dawson was just staring them down on the top turnbuckle. They were just wanting this matchup to get underway, and get underway it has here. Ricochet going to start things off, still in his entrance gear. Against Scott Dawson here. What's he going to look for now? He's going to the ropes and... Oh, Shining Wizard there, caught him on the money. Kota Ibushi finally got on the apron there. Not to show what he was doing for the longest time. Irish whip now into the turnbuckle goes Ricochet, and seems as if whatever the plan of the Revival was from the early stages here, it has backfired on them, because Control has gone the ways of Future Shock here. This is going to hurt. We saw this on Raw as well. Double foot stomp into the chest, courtesy of Ricochet. Finally off comes his little entrance jacket or whatever it is, and now Future Shock can go to work here. Tag made. Ibushi is in. He needs this matchup to go incredibly well for him. He's got King of the Ring this Sunday to worry about. He doesn't know, of course, who he's going to be going up against, but he knows he's going to have someone in that first round, and it could be a big name. It could be a Lars Sullivan. It could be a Kenny Omega. I would like to see Ibushi go far. He's a really good talent, but this field has... There's almost like a 50-50 split in incredible talents. Maybe not 50-50, but there are at least 3 guys you look at and you think they're going to be a tough first round match, and that's Corbin, Sullivan, and Omega. One from each brand is for certain. Even Ono, to an extent, will be a tough first match for them to overcome. And oh, Dawson there going over Wilder and the top rope. And oh, Ibushi cannonballs over the top rope after him. King of the Ring may only be a few days away, but Ibushi is going to make sure that he is at the peak of his ability. He's not going easy on this matchup here. But there is Scott Dawson bringing out the counter, and a Thesz press there. The polar opposites of one another here. No flips, just fists from the Revival against the very high-octane offense of Future Shock. Oh, lovely kick there by Kota Ibushi. Let's see what else he has in mind here for Scott Dawson. Going to take him into his own turnbuckle. Not sure how wise of a decision that one was. Dash Wilder has indeed tagged himself in now. Irish whip up and over the top rope now for Wilder. The moment he gets in the ring, and he's sent to the outside there. And look at this now. Ibushi going after both of them. Flying forearm shot. And Dawson rolls to the outside. Oh, turned his back though on Wilder, and he paid for it. And he's really paying for it now. Oh, dumped there onto the apron. That is going to hurt no matter who you are. And hurt Kota Ibushi, it certainly did. On the outside, just Dash Wilder is in control. Imagine what a win over a man in the King of the Ring would do for the Revival. They could get their names right back up in the tag team title scene. It certainly looks as if that has gone through the thought process of Dash Wilder here, as he gets going now up on the second rope. Wilder, you dare! Wilder from the second rope here. Double axe handle countered there by Ibushi. And he backed up there. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he backed up into the turnbuckle of Future Shock, and he's paying for it. Up high. There's the crossbody. Ricochet now the legal man in this one. And where is Ricochet going to go from here? Up on the apron now. And oh, springboard 450. Incredible precision to hit that one. The cover here, but a very early kick out. Look at the speed here being possessed by Ricochet. Future Shock is doing a good job here of being in sweet, sweet control of this matchup here. Snapmare holds onto the head and oh, big boot into the face. Wilder going to look to try and make the tag here to Dawson, and he gets it. The hot tag is made. Scott Dawson, what are you doing? This is not the Revival way of doing things, and he may well have cost him big time here. Ibushi, Hurricanrana there from the top rope, and he'll go to another rope now and make sure that he can finish this match off. No, he won't, because Scott Dawson is saved by Dash Wilder. The Revival always looking out for one another, and they certainly did so just there. Both men are down now, and it's Dawson who's up to his feet first. Can he capitalize here on this moment? Going after the arm there of Ibushi. Not too sure how smart of an idea that one was, given the speed that we've seen Ibushi possess in this one, but maybe looking to take away his finishing maneuver at the same time. Lovely slam there by Kota Ibushi. And uh-oh, is Dawson going to be quick enough to save him again? Can he save him second time round? Oh, he can! What a save! But he also fell on his partner there. Ibushi went clattering down onto Dawson. Both men are crawling. Tag made. In comes Ricochet here to make the save for his team. Drop kick into the back. And now it can be Ricochet's job to finish off what Ibushi was doing an incredible job of. Standing corner and Zaguri there. What's he going to do now? Standing 450 by Ricochet. How do you do something like that? Cover after it to put away Dawson. There's two. There's three. Your winners, Future Shock and Ricochet, can take the celebrations of having the pin in this one. Wow, that was agility and then some. That was a special kind of athlete in Ricochet, doing a special kind of move. And what a move it was as well. Victory for Future Shock here in this one, and one that they can certainly celebrate. Ibushi had a strong showing as well, just denied on 2 occasions by an outside, basically what you could call outside interference. That will not be playing its nose into this Sunday at King of the Ring. Can Ibushi go far with this win here tonight? We'll find out. Momentum is crucial, but it's the wrestling ability, and as well as on that night as well, the fatigue that is going to be key to becoming King of the Ring. We'll see. Good win for Future Shock though. We're going to move on now to our next contest, however, in the women's division is heating up. A lot of women want their hands on the Smackdown Live Women's Champion Nikki Cross. We've seen Sasha Banks and Nia Jax get their names out there as of late. Well, another one of the two. No, another winner. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Another duo look to try and get their names out there. That's coming up next. It will be Bayley against Becky Lynch. So here we go. Here come these two women. Bayley had, of course, her opportunity to become to become champion at the Royal Rumble against Nikki Cross, but one little slip-up cost her that chance of being champion. And she will hope that it is not the same mistake that costs her here tonight against Becky Lynch. Both these women very experienced. Both these women want to become SmackDown Live Women's Champion. In Becky Lynch's case, again, she wants to hold the title. But we'll just have to wait and see if that is going to be the case or not. SmackDown's women's division always won, but I'm excited to see in action. Always one that shows a lot of strength within it, a lot of virtue within it, and you see the dedication that each woman puts in to try and become the champion. And only one, of course, is holding that belt right now, and that is none other than Nikki Cross. Will she be holding on to it for much longer, though? Of course, we'll have to find out. There are a lot of women coming for it right now. As I said, Banks and Nia Jax picking up wins over the last 2 weeks. And whoever wins this one is going to be joining that fray as well. It is going to be a big participant to lose, but we've already lost AJ Lee and Naomi in this kind of... It's almost like a mini tournament that's been set up. I'm not 100% sure about that claim, but anyway. Here comes Becky Lynch to the ring now, ready to compete in this one. Lynch, of course, has been a staple to this women's division ever since it returned back at Survivor Series some time ago now. She was the champion then, and she has hunted reclaiming that title ever since. She lost the title at WrestleMania. She has just been geared towards having it back around her waist every single time she has been in a match. The thought process is that it gets her closer to getting that title back. And sometimes you got to feel for Becky Lynch, because all that fight she puts in and she can't get the title at the end of it. It is kind of crushing in a way, but it is something that just happens, I guess. But anyway, we're going to focus on this one here between these two fine caliber athletes. As I said, we've seen good wrestling on SmackDown Live all night. We could see some more here. I think we will see some more between these two women. Certainly had their matches in the past, both on SmackDown Live and on Raw. And they continue it on here tonight. Lovely head scissors there by Bayley. Becky Lynch couldn't do anything to get herself out of that one. Nikki Cross watches every match closely, though we just never know where she's watching it from. And she's going to be watching this one closely as well to see what these two women can bring to the table. And look at the respect there of Becky Lynch, standing backwards and allowing Bayley to recover, allowing Bayley back in the ring. Very respectable there by Becky Lynch. And we go back to the collar and elbow tie-up here. Bayley with the go behind now. Jostling her around there, trying to make Becky unable to get out of this one, and she does so. Brings them down to the mat as well and has her locked around here with a great waist lock. Bayley able to force her way out of it, has a standing waist lock of her own now. Look at the ability within these two women. Such back and forth here. Here we go, chin lock applied now by Lynch. Oh, but Bayley gets out of it here and locks in the arm, and it's going to be a stalemate. And oh God, that quickly changed from a stalemate. Becky Lynch just driving Bayley into the mat there with that powerbomb. And the feeling out process is done for now. In come the hard shots. In comes the wrestling from these two women. Bayley slams her down. Off the rope she looks to go now. Lovely elbow drop. Of course, not going to be the only time we see that this matchup and all. She went for another one there, but she didn't get all of it. Lynch moved out of the way, and with every elbow drop that Bayley could miss, makes it easier to lock in the disarmer. Great counter, the tilt-a-will DDT, though, by Bayley. And now she can get going. Twisting neck breaker there. And follows it up with a drop kick in the side of the head now. Back and forth is very much so the phrase to use for these two women. This is almost the women's rendition of what Cesaro and Jay Lethal was earlier tonight. Great counter there to the apron suplex by Bayley. But Becky Lynch counters it, sends her over the top, and we'll look to try it again. Will this one pan out? Yes, it will. She could counter it once, but she couldn't counter it again. And Lynch now looks to fire up here, looks to get things going. There's one leg drop, in comes the other from the other angle. And of course going after the arm as well. Crucial that she does that for the disarmer. And it takes away the belly to belly as well. That is how crucial that one can be to her. Lovely bit of work there to close in on the arm in the way that she is right now. But here comes some Bexplexes on the way. Beautiful one there to kick us off. But she is going to look at what the hell is this here by Becky Lynch. Blocking it around and just dumping her down. I don't even know what to make of that move there. Great strength there by Bayley to try and get up as quickly as she can. You're up on one knee now. But unable to counter that backbreaker there by Becky Lynch. And again, Lynch holding in on the arm, bringing Bayley's weight down on her there with that one. She is playing this matchup smart. She's done a bit of work to the, to every other aspect really of Bayley, and now it's working on that arm. Now it's trying to get that victory, but Bayley showing that the arms are still very much working there with that arm drag. Running bulldog now into the mat. Face first goes Becky Lynch there. These two women having a right back and forth matchup here. Neither one is getting control over the other, and that is what is making this such a great match to watch. Another Bexplex for you though. Certainly if you can't think of anything to try and deliver on the, if you can't think of any move off the top of your head, Becky Lynch will gladly strike you down with a Bexplex and take that opportunity as her own. Going after the arm once again there. Looking to try and make it just one to finish off the match here. In the turnbuckle we go now. What will Becky Lynch go for? Has the arm locked in. Look at this here, up on that top rope. Walking the ropes maybe. No, going to hang herself in the turnbuckle but bring herself down. Top rope armbar there by Becky Lynch, and oh, here comes a Bexplex again. Bexploder variation this time though. That one could be the precursor to bring about the end of this matchup. Bayley's rematch is going to have to wait because it looks as if Lynch is ready for the tap out. Disarmer applied to Bayley. Can she get herself to the rope? Can she get herself out of it? It's a tight hold. It's locked in deep as well. She can't. Bayley taps out. Becky Lynch is your winner in this one. Man, that one was so 50. That one was so 50-50 between these two women. They really made it tough for the other one to get the win, but Becky Lynch stayed the course. She focused on the arm as much as she could have done, but by the time that disarmer was locked in, it was almost as if she had done the just enough damage to get the tap out. Shame for Bayley. And like I said, her rematch will have to wait. Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, and now Becky Lynch, all with wins in these recent weeks. You got to think the SmackDown general manager is coining up something for the women's division, or the SmackDown committee rather, should I say. Maybe so. That one could certainly be an interesting one, but I'll tell you what is going to be an interesting one. It is up next. For the first time since the Royal Rumble, we hear from this man. CM Punk is here up next. He has had a lot of time to think about what happened on that night, and he has had a lot of time to think about what he's going to say. So without further ado, CM Punk, the floor is yours. And here he comes. Well, he certainly seems in good spirits, but I imagine it's also a matter that could be anything but for CM Punk. You think about how long it has been. You think about all the troubling times that CM Punk has had to go through. You got to think he's been watching that on repeat, just to gear him up for this, just to get the aggression out that he needs to. He is going to get it out right here tonight. And CM Punk is wasting very little time. He knows what happened at the Royal Rumble. Collusion or not, CM Punk is damn sick of it. And he's damn sick of people getting in his business. He's damn sick of people getting in his way. And he's damn sick of Bobby Fish. Oh, but don't think that he's done with you yet, Brock Lesnar. Your time will come for the Beast. Battleground was only the start of their war. Punk looks to finish it at some point. Maybe even at the grandest stage of them all. But your time will come. As for now, Punk's business revolves back to Bobby Fish, due to how questionable and even to an extent how almost a cheating way it was for Fish to win the title at the Royal Rumble. He wants Punk to prove him wrong. Punk wants Fish to prove him wrong. He wants to show that he really is the best. And oh, will he ever? Punk has put out the challenge. Next week, on Smackdown Live face him for the WWE Championship. If you've got the guts to put the title on the line, then do so. If not, CM Punk will take the belt from you. And he wants a response tonight. CM Punk has returned to Smackdown Live with a virtue and a vengeance. Brock Lesnar can wait in line. The attention Lesnar craved, he can wait for. Right now, Punk has unfinished business with Fish. Will it be resolved next week? I know there was a lot to talk about there, and I know there's a lot we want to discuss. We don't have time, sadly, but what do we actually make of that? I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. CM Punk wants Bobby Fish next week for the WWE Championship, and he wants a response tonight. Bobby Fish ain't here tonight, but Paul Heyman is. Oh man, this one might get heated. You never know. Oh, we better see a response tonight, though. I think Punk is going to get one out of Fish & Co. as quickly as he would like to. We will see about that, but well, he's only got until after this matchup for his response to be heard, or for a response to be made, rather. Well, instead, Punk will have to try and get one out of them. But before we can continue talking about that one, we have the Intercontinental Championship in action here tonight. We have this matchup, a rematch from the Royal Rumble tonight, and could be a rematch from the Royal Rumble next week as well. Kenny Omega and Finn Bálor one-on-one. Omega begged and pleaded with Bálor last week, telling him to give him the rematch. And Bálor gave him what he wanted. We've already seen Kota Ibushi pick up a win heading into King of the Ring. Can the same happen for Kenny Omega here tonight? And will he be walking in with that belt around his waist? Because if he did, my little thing about saying that there are 3 favourites would be whittled down to 1. I believe that if he wins the Intercontinental Championship here tonight, Kenny Omega is the man to keep your eye about. And I believe the man to win King of the Ring for a second time, even with ECW's involvement. I still believe that to be the case, but he's got to go through Finn Bálor here tonight, a man who has got the Bálor Club on his side here. Wherever he goes as well, Bálor always has his following. But certainly there is no 50-50 divide, there is no elite shirts to be seen. It is all about Finn Bálor. And that may well cause difficulties for Kenny Omega to overcome. We will just have to find out if that'll be the case. Up on the steps rather quickly there gets Finn Bálor. Omega paying close attention. So close attention, he's almost trying to get in the sight of Finn Bálor. Look at that. Both men looking at each other there. Kenny Omega keeping his cool, keeping himself backwards as Finn Bálor soaks in the reaction from this crowd. He played some mind games with Roman Reigns last week with the Demon King, with the Demon entrance. But not here tonight. Tonight it is all business. Tonight he knows what he's got to overcome, who he's got to overcome, and how to overcome him. He's done it once. Can Finn Bálor do it again here? Are we in for another great matchup between these two men? Could it even eclipse their Royal Rumble matchup? That is something that awaits us to find out. This one's going to be such a good one to watch, though. That is for certain, if not as a commentator, as a fan. I can admit that the Smackdown committee always know how to knock it out of the park with their main events. And they've done it again here tonight. Imagine next week if Bálor retains the title here tonight. We could have 2 title matches. That would be incredible. You see there Kenny Omega just standing, staring at Bálor. There's no emotion on display. It's only that title that he wants. Finn Bálor getting himself in the zone. Getting himself prepared and ready for this title matchup. Also not looking at Kenny Omega either. Finn Bálor is ready. You can see that emotion within his face. He's in the zone, and he's ready to go. So is Kenny Omega. So is this arena. And we are about to get underway for this Intercontinental Championship. 2 will fight, 1 will hold it. Can Kenny Omega head into King of the Ring as the Intercontinental Champion and head out of it as a 2-time King of the Ring? Or will Finn Bálor be the one who starts to vanquish the hopes and dreams of Omega here tonight? We'll find out, but the desperation of Omega trying to sink in there early on. Went for a bicycle kick and paid for it. Saito suplex by Finn Bálor. That's the difference how this matchup will be fought. Omega will act in desperation. Omega will take any opportunity in front of him. Bálor is calm. Bálor is going to be taking it slowly. He knows that it's a marathon, not a sprint, but in Kenny Omega's mind, he needs to get this one over and done with as quickly as possible. And Omega is already showing how worked up he is, how much he's ready to go in this one to try and take the title away from Bálor here. Oh, but Bálor making him pay for it. It's almost as if Omega's regressing there in terms of ring awareness and almost experience in some regards. He is letting his desperation get the best of him. And Finn Bálor, oh, making him pay for it, sending him into the apron there head first. Of course, Bálor can retain the title on the outside. Omega needs a pinfall or submission victory to become Intercontinental Champion. Ribs first now into the barricade twice. Went Finn Bálor, and oh, this is going to hurt him. Uranagi slam all on the back of his neck. The injury that Omega exploited at the Royal Rumble to try and win the belt. And he's gone right back to the well again. But as I have said on a great many occasions, if there is a wound there, if there's an injury there to exploit it, to be exploited, then exploit it. Bálor, oh, he's gone up to the top rope very quickly. You're not going to be able to go for coup de grace. Oh, Omega moved out of the way there. And here goes Kenny now up on the shoulders. Whatever he was looking for, stuffed. Elevated DDT there by Finn Bálor now. And again, Bálor just trying to stay calm. Not let his aggression get the best of him. Kenny Omega trying to counter out of every single move in front of him. And he's paying for it now because he's starting to wear himself down from the early stages. German suplex by Bálor, who's going up to the back of Kenny Omega. But Omega pulls out the reversal. Reverse DDT now by the cleaner. And to the top rope as well goes Omega here. This one could be a big one. Are we going to see? Oh my god, he's going to do it! Coup de grace to Bálor! That could give us a new Intercontinental Champion right here, right now. Wow. Or not. Omega takes the move of Finn Bálor, but can't even get remotely close to finishing the job with it. Chops and strikes here just coming in from Kenny Omega. And oh, big knee. That may well have been the first V trigger of the matchup. Sling blade counter there by Bálor. Omega came running in. Bálor made him pay for it. Look at that. Both men with 2 sweets in the corner for one another. Some mind games are being played by Finn Bálor, and you know he's enjoying playing them as well. Oh, bicycle kick by Kenny Omega. How can he capitalize on it? He can't. Bálor stops him in his tracks. Single underhook suplex there. And Omega goes down. Finn Bálor now calling out to the crowd here. Getting them on his side once again in this tough battle against Kenny Omega. Both these men have hit already some hard moves to each other. Bálor's coming back into it. Sling blade. Look at the speed that is struck with as well. And here we go now. Nowhere for Omega to go. In the turnbuckle. Prepare to feel the wrath of the shotgun drop kick. Because here comes the kickback into the turnbuckle. And he wastes no time at all. Finn Bálor to the top rope, looking to finish the hopes and dreams of Omega as quickly as they started. Coup de grace is denied. Omega moved out of the way. But Bálor able to fight back right away here, though it's counted in vain. And Omega has him now, up on the shoulders. German suplex incoming. He got him with it. Cover. No, in the ropes. But Omega knows his business isn't done yet. He drags Bálor into the middle of the ring. He's going to look to end it here. He is going to look to finish it. Brings him up to his feet. Hooks him in. The trigger. Will this do it for Omega? 2 and oh, Bálor kicked out at 2.5. But Kenny Omega is now the one in control. The counter to the coup de grace there was exactly what Kenny Omega needed. And now Finn Bálor might be fighting a losing battle here. Kenny Omega's finally almost calmed. He has calmed down. He has gone back to his normal phase here. The cleaner working in a precise manner once again. And Finn Bálor currently has very little response to it. Another forearm shot there, and a Michinoku driver will bring down Kenny into the cover here to try and put away Omega. There's one and nothing more. Crowd are on their feet for this one right now. And here we see Finn Bálor trying to slow the pace down now. Trying to collect his bearings. Got the arm stitched in here of Kenny Omega, really yanking on it as well as he has it locked in. But Omega will get up to his feet here. Twisted an awkward angle or not, he is not going to let his arm be trapped by Bálor, sorry. Counter though. Oh, he's going to send it back into the turnbuckle here. Will he look for it once again? If he was, he's denied. Spun around. Reverse Hurricanrana there. Spiked him on his head and more importantly his neck. Omega knew what he wanted to get from that move and he got it. Cover here on Bálor to win the title for the second time. Bálor says no. Is this match competitive or what between these two right now? Omega's got King of the Ring to worry about in a few days, but the only worry in his mind right now is this. The only thing that he wants is the Intercontinental Championship. Everything else is almost secondary here. Superplex by Omega. And even though he was in pain there, he's not going to let it get the best of him. Omega will try the top rope once more. Pulling himself up to that top turnbuckle. He will fly with a frog splash into the cover here. Is this it? Is Omega champion again? No. He has tried almost everything in his book. And he still cannot finish off Finn Bálor here. Bálor with the counter. Sends him in. Chop here. And look at how quickly Finn Bálor turns things around for him here. What a drop kick. And Omega has to retreat outside of the ring. Oh, but look at this. He used it to his advantage here. Finn Bálor, though, counters out of it. Reverse DDT. Not what Kenny Omega was expecting at all. Back in the ring we go now. Finn Bálor has Omega in his clutches and could well have the Intercontinental Championship in his clutches as well. Bloody hell. He got him. And now he looks to go to the... No. Well, going after the arm for a second there. He's not ready to close this one out. Doesn't think he has the finishing blow just yet, to that double knee facebuster could have added to it. Omega stuffs whatever he had in mind there. Bálor stuffs it in return. These two men fighting with everything within them for that title. And they're both down. They've exhausted almost everything within them. Bálor crawls. He puts an arm over Omega to win the title. No. Look at how quickly Omega denied that opportunity for Bálor. He claws himself to his feet here. And once more Finn Bálor will try something else. Going to try for a powerbomb now to win the title. Big powerbomb. These two men have worn each other down as much as they possibly could have. But Bálor will run once again to the top rope. Omega's in the perfect place to hit it this time. Will Bálor get what he wants? Bálor in position. Coup de grace to Omega. With 1, 2. Oh my goodness. Omega kicks out. And Bálor, he can't fight. He falls down to one leg. He's trying. Every little ounce of Finn Bálor is trying. But Omega with another counter here. Forearm. But he can't capitalize. And again, back to that arm. Trying to maybe take away the one-winged angel as well, now that I think about it. I said he exhausted almost every option. He hasn't exhausted that one yet. Punch in the gut there by Omega. Oh, took out the legs of Finn Bálor. Trying to take away the coup de grace in the same right there. Finn Bálor, though, is in huge trouble. Here we go again with the German suplex. He spiked him right there. But he ain't looking to end this one yet. Omega falls to one knee. He is exhausted. But he needs to be champion. Bálor stumbles into it. What could be his final blow. One-winged angel by Omega. 1, 2. Finn Bálor kicks out. And Omega's reaction tells the whole story. He can't believe it. I can't believe it. This crowd can't believe it either. Finn Bálor is still hanging on here. Into the turnbuckle we go. And Bálor, where did he find this within him? Shotgun dropkick. He got him with it. Finn Bálor runs. Third attempt. Second delivery, but can third time be the charm? Finn Bálor. Coup de grace. 1, 2, 3. Finn Bálor overcame the odds again and overcame an even tougher Kenny Omega. But he's done it. Finn Bálor is still your Intercontinental Champion. But what a main event that one was. And what a pair of athletes we just saw give their heart, soul, courage, and I would even argue respect to one another. A loss for Kenny Omega, yes. Well, that should not count him out of King of the Ring. If anything, I would almost say that puts him in contention for King of the Ring. Even more hunger within Omega, and after an incredible performance like that against Bálor, it's going to be a close one. But Finn Bálor retains the Intercontinental Championship here, and he's certainly proud of it. Whether or not Bálor will retain his Intercontinental Championship next week, we'll find out, of course, because we await the response here. There is no movement from the Smackdown Live curtain. Finn Bálor is celebrating, and the Dangerous Alliance are not talking, it seems. We may be at an end here. I'm holding out here. I'm waiting for something to happen. It seems that it's not. Oh, never mind, never mind. Scratch that. Scratch that. Our answer is on his way. Introducing the answer. It's Paul Heyman. And here he is. Finally. He is going to answer the question we have all been waiting for. CM Punk asked it just before that matchup, and it was in the back of my mind throughout that match no matter what. Heyman. Don't keep us waiting, man. What have you got to say? Oh, well, of course. Of course, Heyman has to do that before we start things off. Introducing himself as the advocate for the reigning, defending WWE Champion Bobby Fish, and on behalf of Fish and the Dangerous Alliance, he has the response that one CM Punk is looking for, and he thinks that everyone is gonna like it. Oh yes. On behalf of Bobby Fish, we accept your challenge. Next week, CM Punk and Bobby Fish for the WWE Championship. There will be no Brock Lesnar. There will be no outside interference. There will be no Paul Heyman. But CM Punk, there will be an end to justify the means. And the end is Bobby Fish, still WWE Champion. He opened the grave. Now he steps in it. Heyman has sent out the response. Next week, Fish and Punk WWE Championship.